All right. Random ramble, and we're doing it a little different today, right? I really need to talk about this for 2 seconds because it's little irritating. You know what I want us to stop doing? Defining success for people. And I have levels to this shit, right? The first level is when you're a child. You ask children what you want to be when you grow up. Like, oh, I want to be a magician, or I don't know, I want to be a unicorn, or I want to be a dinosaur, or something. Like, no, why don't you be a doctor? Why don't you be a lawyer? Why don't you be this, that, and whatever? That's the first stage of defining success for somebody. That's the first level of it. And then when we get older and we enter the education system, the lovely education system, which I could go on that, but I might more than likely be another episode. Digress. Our education system starts teaching you in detail what it means to be successful. You have to score this amount of points. You have to be this number or rank in this number in class. You have to achieve this. You have to you have to make certain marks here so that you can go to a particular school there. And only unless you go to that particular school is the only time you're ever going to achieve. And when you go to that particular school, you're able to get a great job and get all these things so that you can, have a lot of money and whatever. And that's the second stage of it in schools. Then when we become adults, it still happens. We define success all the time for people as an adult. The new way, which is my favorite way now of defining success for people, is through things like pyramid schemes. Hey, let me invite you to a meeting now, it's just to talk, Or hey, want to make some extra money? Come now, I know exactly what you need to do. And then we invite me to this bullshit meeting. And it's so mind-blowing how the meetings are usually set up, the scripts in them. And I know them pretty well because I've been in a few many years ago, right? Where, you stick your finger in the wound that is being an adult and trying to provide for your family and never having enough money to do the things that you want or to get the things that you like or whatever. And how they set up that and paint the picture for you is like where you are now is not enough and where you need to be, which is the goals they set for you, and almost convince you that this is what you need. Listen. I wish we would stop defining success for people. Everybody defines success differently. For some people, it's money. For some people. For others, success doesn't necessarily mean that. It doesn't. It could mean, I don't know, being successful could mean having the entire family together with you often. Or being able to just have any shoe you want. It don't necessarily have to be money. You may not even have the rest of your wardrobe put together, but just having shoes. I don't care. Listen, I don't really care what it is, But the point is that everybody should be able to define success in their own way. I have a friend, well, using the word friend loosely, but I know of this person, and we were in a conversation talking about another artist, and they were like, they were mad because they found that the artist is so talented that they should be traveling, and they try to convince them to do that and and they're wasting time, and all the artists in this country wasting time, and whoa. I'm sorry. So because these artists not traveling, and by traveling I mean going outside of Trinidad and Tobago, means they're not successful? Because that's by your standard. Because everybody should be measuring success by your standard. Meanwhile, when I look at the rest of your life, I'm like, so wait, it's okay for you to compare success to me, but I can't do it to you? See, that's how stupid this whole defining success for people is. And this is the other issue why it's so important for you to be able to define what is success for you, what it means for you to be successful. Because the older you get, the more you realize that being successful and being happy, living in the same house. The two of them living in the same house. You find that when you're successful, you find that you're kind of happy too at the same time. If not immediately. But they go hand in hand almost. And now we live in a society or in a life that they say success as though it means, something in this big way, but I really mean money. It always friggin' comes back to money. And now you have all these celebrities, for example, who have all the money in the world, who you'll turn and you'll hear, oh, they're super successful, but do enough drugs, overdosing, suicide, killing themselves, suffering from depression. See, that's because they chose to have success defined for them versus exploring themselves and finding what success means to them. They defining it themselves and not have idiots like all you define it for them. So do yourself a favor now. Define success in your own way, not anybody else's way. Because the only thing you have to defend is your peace. A peace of mind knowing that you happy, that you successful in your own way. There's no amount of money in the world could pay for that. And honestly, I don't care if you agree or disagree with me, no. I'm talking out my ass sometimes. But I dare anybody to come around me again and tell me or try to define my success. Who or what are raps? Bye.